I'm Felicia.
And I'm Giancarlo.
And this is
our review of
Adventureland.
That's right. Well done. Well done.
Kristen Stewart's not in it.
Who?
Kristen Stewart is not in it.
What is your fascination with Kristen Stewart?
I like her a lot, but she was in the movie Adventureland. I just told you it was a movie.
Oh, that's right. It was a movie. That's right. But it's not
Games. I have the T-shirt.
Yeah. These guys are just starting to do family games.
Is it?
That you have to thank our distributor at C Entertainment.
What is it about?
It's about slaying monsters, but very Euro way of slaying fog monsters, actually.
This is like Legos. Only from 10 to 99 years can you play. When you're 100,
you cannot
play this game anymore.
And it's not Adventureland, it's Deathland. Wow, that's so grim. I'm probably going to be called an ageist now.
In Adventureland, you play the role of a leader, leading a team of adventurers to defeat fog monsters, get gold, and claim cities. Have the most victory points at the end of the game and you'll win the favor of King Agamis. For this review, we'll show you the rules for the third adventure, Escape to Cities. The board will be set with one of each player's meeples on the topmost rows, and the leftmost columns. Each sword, herb, gold, and fog monster tiles will each be placed in their respective stack face down. The water sprite token, companion meeples, and dice will be on the side, with the terrain cards shuffled, forming a deck. The youngest player goes first, and you're ready for adventure.
On your turn, you execute two actions. Turn over 2 terrain cards, and move adventurers. Reveal the first terrain card and place the appropriate token face down. Should you reveal a fog monster, place its token, but replace it with another card as it does not count towards the 2 cards drawn. When both legal cards have been drawn, we move on to movement. The golden rule for movement is you may never go up or left. You must always travel either down, south, or right, east. You also have 2 movement steps. Every movement step will have an adventurer go as many spaces in a single direction he chooses to. Note that he cannot pass through fog monsters or the water sprite, but can pass through meeples. He just can't land there. He can split his movements between 2 adventurers, 1 each, or 1 adventurer with 2 moves. If he wishes, he can also do 1 move, pick a tile up, and then do another move in the same direction to pick another tile. Now let's talk about these.
When you end in a mountainous region, you might be able to pick up a sword token. These will be used in combat. Going in forest might have you pick up an herb. Again, used in combat. Towns and cities will have you recruit companions, which will make your team that much more dangerous in combat. The river will yield gold, both used in combat and be worth points at the end game. Careful though, should a terrain card reveal a river where you'll place a gold, the water sprite will snake along the river and any adventurer caught in its path will automatically be defeated and be placed back in the box. Lastly, fog areas might have you enter combat against a fog monster.
Before combat can begin, the player must decide on how many sword tokens to use. Each sword token will provide a die to roll to a maximum of 3. If any sword tokens have a number listed here, you'll add those to your total strength value. Added to this total is your own adventure pawn as well as any companions you picked up along the way. Each of these will add 1 to the strength total. You'll roll the number of dice you've received by having spent the sword tokens, add bonuses as stated, and compare it to the fog monster's health value. Should you equal or exceed it, you've slain the monster. Take its tile and it'll give you this many victory points at the end of the game. Should you be under it, fret not, this is where you can spend herb tokens to meet or exceed the monster's health. If you do not have enough herb tokens to defeat the monster, you will lose your adventure and any companions by returning them to the box, and the fog monster remains there.
The game continues each turn with a player drawing 2 cards and moving, until the endgame triggers. This is done when there are no longer any sword tokens and companions left in the stockpile. The round continues making sure each player has played the same number of turns. Then we calculate points. Points will differ from adventure to adventure, but let's look at the third one. Total up all defeated fog monsters. Then whoever has defeated the most receives 7 extra points. Second player gets 3, and third gets 1. Each gold token is worth 2 points. Again, the one who's got the most tiles receives 7, second 3, and third 1. For each city, the one who has the most adventurers and companions total scores as many points as the fields in that city. The second player receives half that many points, and the third receives half of what the second player got. Lastly, any adventurers who are not in a city receive a penalty. Count all the adventures, including the ones in the starting field, and multiply this by the number of fog monsters left on the board. This total will be subtracted from your total on the score track. The player with the most wins.
Haba has just recently added family, medium complexity games to their rosters, and it's nice to see Adventureland is a good first step towards this. Though the title isn't that inspiring or evocative, half-point penalty, the game does have simple, straightforward rules and mechanics, and more tactics and strategy than it lets on. Especially on the third adventure we've just reviewed, where you need to keep into consideration those endgame bonuses and penalties. The components are excellent. Yes, we've seen meeples and tiles before, but these are quite thick, and having the adventures on nice big cards for all players to see showed that they've paid attention to detail. The artwork is okay, it definitely fits the target family audience where it's not too serious, nor too high fantasy, as it is a family game. I just wish there was more diversity with it, like what they did with the art for the fog monsters. Not a deal breaker, but another half-point penalty. What I really liked was how quick the game played out, about 45 minutes tops. It looks like a full-fledged game, but really can be played as a filler. And also, what this game does well is how it teaches new players in the hobby the Euro-style victory point scoring, starting with the easy first adventure and moving its way up to the third. I do think, however, more of these adventures would be needed for replay value. Not sure there's enough variety. There's a bit of luck in the game when the terrain cards line up perfectly in a row or column that has the next player's turn coming up, and the dice rolls can be swingy, but the mitigation options are there, so only a half-point penalty. Might be a little lackluster for hardcore gamers, but Adventureland is not geared for those players. But for a family game, or entry-level players that don't want a brainless game, this does the job quite well. It'll teach players if they should risk fighting a fog monster with the tokens they've accumulated, how much time there is to get those meeples into cities and not gain any penalty, and force them to look at what bonuses they can attain based on what other players have in terms of fog monsters, gold tokens, and how many of their meeples are in each city. A very solid Euro entry level game, and we can't wait to see what Haba has in store for this new line. Adventureland gets a 7.5 out of 10.
Wow.
What are you doing? We're gonna show. Do you know how this works? After this, we show the component.
I understand.
So why are you doing it during the intro? Thank you.
The intro Nazi, Giancarlo Caltabiano. I was just leaning on him, and he's making.
Nobody's at high enough level to be with me.
Oh, wow. Giancarlo.
And I'm not talking about my height either, because they're all super high level for that.
Everybody's taller than Giancarlo is.
Besides you.
I'm the same size, the same height.
Shall we compare?
Yeah, we can. Back to back. You're a little taller than I am, I think. Right? Is he?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little
Yeah,
bit.
true.
That's right.
Well,
And my hair's wet.
he's on the cord.
He's all poofed up.
My
Poofy
hair was
hair.
all poofy.
So more poofy than my hair.
Why are you touching me?
Wow, she leans on me, but God forbid I touch her hair.
She leans on me. Someone
Lean
said,
on me.
when you're not safe. Blah, 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 blah.